happening, fellas? Today I'm going to throw up an old video back from the origins of Joe Delaney's time on YouTube. So I think a lot of you are kind of aware of how I began putting videos and shit out there. But if you're not, this is one of the ones from deep in the archives, man. So yeah, I'm looking fat and my hair's looking, well, just as doggy as it is now, but I think it's a good one. So this is which protein powder to choose by Delbros.
Good evening, bros. Good evening. We are the Delaney brothers. This is the 8 o'clock Delaney news. Okay, so one of the greatest questions in bodybuilding today, possibly life, possibly the universe, not just today, but maybe ever, is what protein are you on? What protein are you on, bro? Because we get that a lot, as you know. Because really, sometimes that's the difference between making gains and just, well, not making gains.
Probably the difference between like Olympia and
just being stringy and sinewy, being spindly,
being soft and
being doughy,
and flat,
and not full. So we thought we'd address this issue to help you guys out, because sometimes people need guidance. You can't just be expected to choose the right protein first off, because there's so much variety.
The thing is as well, there's so many different varieties of.
How much is we use my head because it's closer? Optical illusions.
Yeah, there's such a big market out there as well. You know, you've got to think about what your priorities are in terms of building muscle. Is it important to get it on board really quick? In which case, you've got the likes of Quick Mass.
Yeah, we have Quick Mass.
But then that is probably trumped by Turbo Mass Gainer.
I would always go for Turbo over Quick.
Yeah.
Somebody said you can have this car, it's Quick, or you can have this car, it's Turbo. That doesn't really make sense. It has to something like that. I'd take Turbo.
It gains ground Turbo.
Turbo
way.
Turbo fat. In a turbo way. However, there's also instant mass. So really, there's no point. I don't see why do people even buy Quick Mass or Turbo Mass when you could buy instant mass?
That's pretty much blew those two out of the water in terms of
what could possibly be better than instant mass?
You can't get any quicker than that, can you?
Well, you'd get premature mass.
Yeah, but that.
Well, you'd have to get big. You'd be getting big before you
train.
Before you drink it, and I don't think.
It's not all about mass as well.
No,
because you've got like muscle and weight gainer.
Muscle and weight gainer. That's one I would look at, because I would like to gain muscle and weight, because. If I gain just muscle and no weight, then maybe.
Because mass could be anything, could be losing fat. Could be anything. What about muscle and size gainer from the same brand? So they've both got muscle included, but it's the case of it's toss up between weight and size.
Muscle and size gainer. Why don't they just make a muscle, weight and size gainer?
Yeah.
Because then you could gain all three at the same time, and mass.
They don't really tell me that you're going to actually make any strength gains, so you probably have to get a mass and strength gainer thrown in.
There's also mass and strength
as well.
Gainer, but then
you wouldn't get stronger without a strength gainer.
Yeah, if you're just getting muscle and weight, then you're getting heavier and you're building more muscle, but you're not getting stronger. So
yeah.
This one, I'm not too sure about this one, because it sounds a bit
borderline.
Questioning natty status.
I think that if you looked at some of the main governing bodies of all the drug tests,
the WADA drug list,
this may well be on there. It's called anabolic mass.
It's just anabolic.
It's that word. It's just.
I have to stay away from anabolic really, because it means steroid. Anabolic means steroids. So
pretty much, yeah.
Anabolic is essentially another word for steroids.
Yeah. So you might as well just steroid mass, yeah. All these mass gainers, you've got to actually think about the quality of mass that you're getting.
Yeah.
And we stumbled across one.
You don't want any type of mass.
One called super mass.
Yeah.
So
super mass sounds good to me. If somebody said to me, "You look like you've put on some super mass," I'd be happy with that.
It would be basically if you're on stage next to somebody who's got mass, and you've got super mass, then surely your mass trumps their mass, and you would then finish higher than them.
But then what if they've been taking mega mass?
Yeah, mega mass is another one as well. So I think mega is distinctly better than super mass.
Mega must be better than super.
Yeah.
Because The only example I can think of right now is Pokeballs, because I think a Mega
How does it
Ball.
go?
I think it went Pokeball, Super Ball,
Yeah.
Mega Ball. So Mega better than Super.
Yeah.
Ultra Ball.
Well, there you go, because there's one called
What
Ultramass
is
as
it?
well. Yeah, it's called Ultramass.
really?
There's another one called
We should
Ultramass.
get that.
So you wouldn't. So there's no point in us getting Mega Mass or Super Mass
No, because
when you can have
Ultra
Ultramass.
Ultra
That
is
must be
better.
better. There was Big Mass as well.
Big.
I mean,
do you know
it's
what?
no use having Ultramass if you're not big. Do you know what I
No,
mean?
well that's the
Why would
whole point of a bulk, isn't it? You're trying to get bigger, so really you do want some big mass.
It's the only one I've seen the word big
Because
on.
what is what other types of, you don't want small mass, do you? Small mass
No.
is not
It's a
really.
bit of an oxymoronic sort of.
Yeah, it doesn't really
Well,
make that
it's not, but it can be a small mass.
in the sense that people use the word mass.
Yeah.
It is oxymoronic.
Those four that we just reviewed: Super Mass, Mega Mass, Ultra Mass, and Big Mass. And
You reviewed them.
we looked at those, didn't we? But then I stumbled across a few others that made me doubt how genuine those masses were, because I found one called Real Mass, and it made me think, well, what if the other ones aren't real?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You don't want to be gaining unreal mass, do you, really?
No.
You don't want someone to come up to you and say, oh yeah, I can tell you've been on.
You've got a fake mass.
You've not, yeah. See, but with real mass, I thought real mass was the real deal sort of thing. I thought that would be it. But then I found true mass.
True mass.
So what if real mass is real, but it's kind of not true as well?
How? Wow, I'm so many mindfuck now.
Yeah, me too.
True,
It could be true, but it could also be a bit dirty and watered down,
diluted.
Yeah,
so you could go with
diluted mass.
pure mass.
Yeah, pure mass could settle that one.
I don't want any of this watered down mass. I don't want, diluted, low grade mass. I want farmer grade mass.
Exactly.
I want, weapons grade shit.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the ones we've gone through so far, there seems to be one thing missing though. They don't.
sound like they're fucking around.
They sound like they're messing about.
It's like a joke.
They're not really taking it, seriously. So very, very serious to me.
But Mike,
What?
there's serious mass.
Well, we are serious about this, so I suppose that'd be the right one for us, wouldn't it? Really?
Well, I don't want fuck about mass, joke mass, prank mass.
Yeah. Troll mass.
Fuck troll mass. Who the fuck wants troll mass? I want
Yeah.
serious mass. No room for trolls.
I don't want people to look at my mass and say, your mass is just
look
not
at-
serious. Like,
To look at your mass.
I know.
Are you looking at my mass?
I see people looking at my mass all the time. After all that, though, you've got to think about the texture of the mass that you're putting on. I don't want to just put on like soft mass or
No.
pudgy mass or.
Yeah.
You see these
Squidgy
guys.
mass.
You see these guys that have got that hard look. do you know
Yeah,
what I
that
mean?
hard.
And you
dense
wonder, like,
look.
people accuse them of all sorts. Like, people say they've been taking anabolic mass, and then you're like, no, they've not. They've just been taking solid mass.
Yeah.
It's just a case of what pro you are.
Solid mass. I don't know.
That's if you want that hard look, you should just take solid mass.
Solid mass will get you that hard look. I think what we should do is stack these. Fuck quick mass, fuck turbo mass. I'm gonna stack instant mass
Yep.
with not anabolic mass because I want to stay natty.
No.
These are just too confusing. Muscle and weight, muscle and size, mass and strength. I'll just stack instant mass with ultra mass,
Yep.
pure mass,
Yep.
and probably solid mass.
Yeah, but
Because I can cut later. I don't need to worry about lean mass because I'll do a cut.
but you don't want it to be like fucking about either. So you'd have to throw critical in there as well. I think.
Okay.
Otherwise, people just will not take you seriously.
We could just fuck it off though and eat food.
Yeah, we could just eat more food.
Let's fuck it. Let's do that.